Let's waste no time and get right to the phone where formerly Fox News Sabrina Sabbagh awaits. You may recall on a number of occasions through the years, we've talked to Sabrina about various celebrity entertainment type news. And it always struck us, and Sabrina, I won't pretend you're not there. You're there. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. So it always struck us, and Jack, feel free to jump in at any time as usual. But Sabrina, very bright, very funny, but sometimes just not into it at all. And we always wondered, what is going on with you? And we, at one point, several weeks ago, we kept you on hold for several minutes, and you didn't seem to be happy. And you tweeted a reply to Jack's apology, which was, and I quote, "I prefer being on hold to actually doing my job." And some of our listeners took that as like bitter sarcasm directed at us.
But, oh, my God, no.
And we found out, because we reread your blog posting yesterday, that so you've left Fox, and it is because all these years you've hated having to report on celebrity news.
Yeah, I truly do prefer to be on hold than to have to talk about, Justin Bieber and Lindsay Lohan and all of the things. Yeah. But it absolutely was not directed at you. It's actually, they tell us if we're on hold for more than 2 minutes just to hang up. So that's just one of those things that's separate of me.
That's
it's
interesting.
Of my bad attitude, but that's we all know that that's also a thing.
But according to your own blog, you had a 6-figure job, which is a good money, talking about Justin Bieber, yet you still hated it.
Here's the thing. I did hard news first. So I did 5 years of hard news. I did radio and television before I came to Fox. I worked in Vegas, I worked in Northern California, I worked in a lot of other markets, and I did crime and politics and standoffs and, normal news that people actually care about. And then I really wanted to move to LA, and they were like, "Hey, great, we'll move you out to LA and we'll set you up with this contract, but you have to now report on Miley Cyrus." So I said sure and great, and that I would totally be down for that. And couple years went by, and I, became sort of like this shell of a person that hated everything.
Well,
sounds like you, Vince.
But it was, and again, this is not to say anything about Fox. I mean, if I worked for ABC, if I worked for CNN, if I worked for any other company, it would be the same. I mean, Fox doesn't do anything differently regarding, this type of news that anyone else doesn't. So it's certainly not a Fox thing. It's a beat thing. It's just the entertainment beat. And
I know there's a little more to it in that you had a serious health problem. The job was really demanding. So that's pretty much, well, I know in spite of that fact, you still got some travel and stuff like that, but you felt like it was just completely ruling your life. And I'll let you finish the sentence.
Exactly. I just figured that this was time for me to move on. Now, again, Fox was super supportive in my health. I mean, they said, look, if you want to take time off, you totally can, and you can go on, disability. I mean, I could have done a ton of things to just not have to deal and to take time off and all those things. But I just, I'm young, and I didn't want to just sit around thinking about like, oh, hey, like I'm sick now. So I'm just going to sit here, like, in my room doing nothing, even though now, looking back, doing nothing is better than Lindsay, talking about Lindsay.
So during the years that we talked to you, so some of those, because oftentimes you were, like, super engaged and really into it and really, really good. And then sometimes we'd talk to you and you seemed like you didn't want to be here. Was it were you in one of those moods where you're telling us about Paris Hilton and you're sitting there on hold just thinking, I can't believe this is what I freaking do for a living. God, I hate this.
It was the difference between, like, 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. If you had me on, before a certain, like, time frame, then I was a little less interested than other times, I think. But no, I it really depended on the topic for me. And there are certain things that I felt were interesting or compelling, even regarding celebrities. Like, I think this whole Justin Bieber thing is fascinating, just as far as him, basically combusting and just throwing his career completely down the toilet. I love the Lindsay Lohan family drama saga with her dad and mom and all the things, and all of the other like illegitimate children that pretend that Michael Lohan is their dad. Which, by the way, like if you could pick anyone to be your dad, like don't have it be Michael Lohan. That seems unfortunate.
Man, what
to pretend to be your dad. So how do you think though? So like you think about people like Billy Bush or whatever on Entertainment Tonight. You think he's super into the celebrity stuff, or he just?
I don't know, but here's the thing, guys. Like people think that I'm super outgoing and whatever. Like I hate people. I'm not. Someone once called me affable. Seriously, someone once called me affable, and I was like, well, you just don't know me at all because that's
or you don't know what affable means.
I am not affable.
Yeah, not affable
That's
at
funny.
all. Just because I'm like
funny.
cute and I can be bubbly, like does not mean that that's directed toward liking people.
Yeah, I've never
That's
been able
hilarious.
to work up bubbly, really. Not
That's
sober,
hilarious.
anyway.
I hate people.
Sabrina Sabbagh is on the line.
But on Facebook and stuff, my friends, quote unquote, would be like, "Oh my God, you're so lucky! Like you get to go to the Oscars and you get to do this." And I'm like, "No, there's no get to. There's have to. I have to work on a Sunday. I have to go get my hair done. I have to buy a dress, which I'm not reimbursed for. I have to crawl around on the floor in said dress to plug in cables. Like I have to be there for 12 hours a day. Like I have to now buy the dress instead of renting because it's ripped from like crawling around on the floor plugging in cables. Like there's nothing glamorous about that type of thing. But that's the thing. Like when you say, do these other people who do it love it? I don't know. I mean, I think that the perception is there. Like all of my friends are like, "Oh my God, you're so lucky. You have like the most amazing job." And I wish I could do that. And I'm like, cool, I'll call in sick and you just go.
You know what?
This is terrible.
And our time's kind of limited, which is something you're used to. But the funny thing is that if you had said roughly what you've just said every time we went to you, it would have been the greatest showbiz reports everywhere because we make
I would
fun.
have been fired.
We belittle constantly the mindless anchorette idiot shows that you probably did 90% of the time. We would have loved this stuff. What about Justin Bieber? And you saying
who gives a
story's
crap?
stupid. He's an F up and an idiot, and he's probably going to end up on a slab. Oh, that would have been the best thing ever, but you would have been fired. Oh well.
Exactly. So then, I quit, and now I can just say whatever I want about all the celebrities. And my next blog post is going to be like a senior will where I leave certain things to certain celebrities, like underwear to Britney Spears and common sense to Lindsay Lohan, and a suitcase for her parents to just pack up and get the hell out.
Amen.
So,
we'll look forward to seeing that. Sabrina Sabbagh.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Good luck. Health and happiness.
Thank you so much.
All right, you got it. And by the way, she's close to broke because of her serious health problem, and is going to travel on a tiny shoestring of money. But she wants to do that while she still has a life to live. So good for her.
I'm going to think about that whenever I hear or see entertainment reporters from now on, though, if they're secretly hating every second of their job. But they feel they've got no choice. You're listening to the Armstrong and Getty Show.